Hello, Gelato Familia. It is George, the Disney Italiano, coming to you with another live. It's like we never left. Of course, we are in much different settings. Tommy looks like he's in a remote undisclosed in
Yeah.
Area 51 somewhere. But in any case, we're back. We're going to have a little chit chat. If anyone has joined our live last night, that we were talking about the speculation of when Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift would open up, and we were talking about Halloween Horror Nights, and we're like, there's no way that they'd drop another Halloween Horror Nights house before Fast and Furious. Well, someone in Universal Creative must have been watching us last night, and they just thought, you know what, just to rowdy us up, let's just drop something. So we'll get into all that, what that is about. Let me introduce my guys, my boys, my bros joining me today on my, well, I guess looking at it, my right, your left, I guess, in the undisclosed location, Mr. Tommy Toon. Take
Yo,
a stroll. How you doing?
what's up, man? I'm glad to be back on Hollow Gelato. What's up, Conductor, too? Yeah, I know we had that nice chit chat where, like, oh, the Fast Coaster's next for the drop. And then, of course, we get this crazy HHN news. But yeah, man, I'm excited to talk real fast about this, man. You know, I love horror, so I had to hop in. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, you can find me at TommyToon_ on IG and TikTok. Of course, that's that more day to day, quicker updates, too. And then the locked in food reviews are on my YouTube, TommyToon_world.
Awesome. And of course, the one, the only, can't have a Hollow Gelato live without him, Mr. Theme Park Conductor. What's going on, Mr. Choo Choo Kachoo, all the way back from the big old blue?
So, if many people don't understand what he just said, me and him talk daily, and the first response out of his mouth will be something crazy like that, and I'll say, what? Because I'm still delusioned from getting off work, so I'm not mentally, like, prepared. That's what that is. So
that's literally how I answer the phone. Either if I call him or he calls me, it's just something completely random that's just at the top of my head that I just blurt out, and he doesn't know what's going to come out of my mouth. It's just
nope.
Yeah, the thing with Conductor is that he'll take you with a grain of salt too, and he'll take the beating. I mean, we were at that dinner, the Donald Duck dinner, and I'm like, we're like talking, and you just kept thinking I was like talking crap about you, bro. You're like, oh, I'll just take it. I'll take it. My sister was like, oh yeah, your friend Brandon's funny, man. It's just you know how we are at this point, so it's like you just accept it.
That's true. But you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and Blue Sky at Theme Park Conductor, on X at Theme Conductor, TikTok at Theme Park Conductor 1, and every Sunday at 5 or 7 p.m. for Conductor Sunday live stream, where we have amazing guests like Tommy Toon World with his Steven Spielberg world famous food reviews, George the Disney Italiano from Hollow Gelato with his spicy Italian theme park opinions, and so many others as we discuss theme parks, Disney, Universal, D23, Halloween Horror Nights, the whole 9 yards. We talk it all. And one thing brand new is on Instagram. I just qualified. Thank God, Meta. You guys are a piece of work, but I love you, I guess. They finally allowed me to create a broadcast channel on Instagram. So it's called Theme Park Conductor Channel Updates. So anytime I do live streams with these fellows or others or videos, or I'm on location somewhere, I will be posting updates on that Instagram page. So definitely go check it out.
Awesome. And for a little more context of what we were discussing on the top of the show, yes, Universal dropped another Halloween Horror Nights house. And it's basically what we all were speculating. They are doing Stranger Things based off of Chapter 5, the final chapter in the Stranger Things series. And I mean, again, I think we were all kind of predicting this, but I am glad to see that if, they closed out the series and it was a huge success and everyone was watching it. I mean, you had to bring it back to Halloween Horror Nights. So I guess I'll start with the the common question. Obviously, you guys probably were expecting it as well, but what is your overall take on it? Yeah.
Oh man, dude, I was expecting this, but we just didn't know if it was going to be full season 5 or a best of with a little season 5 sprinkled in the end. And thankfully, Universal and John Murdy pulled through and has given us a full house for season 5. I mean, I guess I'll get a little joke in, but it's kind of brutal. Not too bad, but it's like at least we're getting something because we didn't get that extra episode that everybody wanted, man. Everybody wanted another episode, yeah. Right. So it's like, to me, it's like, I'm getting this. I'm cool with it. I kind of know what scenes they're going to put into it. And as long as we get Vecna's head getting chopped off at the end, I'm legit with this, man. What do you think, Conductor?
I think it would be phenomenal because one of the things I really liked is the trailer for season 5 and how they laid it out. That was fire. That was really fire. I had some mixed reviews about season 5, like just pretty much like anyone else probably had. But my thing is, I agree with you, Tommy. I want kind of like a send off, and I think something where they defeat Vecna would be awesome. I think a scene, towards the end of the walkthrough for the house would be phenomenal. And quite frankly, I think this is a good send-off because Stranger Things is starting to become what other IPs at Halloween Horror Nights have been, like Walking Dead, Michael Myers, even though he's another OG villain I love so much. My OG slasher right there. And then you got The Purge, same thing. So I hope they with Stranger Things, I hope they go out with a bang and send it out the proper way and not bring it back. And if they do bring it back, wait multiple years and maybe use it as a budget house if they need a filler house. You know what I mean?
That would make sense.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that does make sense. I feel like that would be a good time to do a best of house. So I like that idea a lot, man. I like that idea a lot. We got every season, they combined 2 of the seasons for one of the houses. So they must think we have a lot of, a lot of material to work with this one for 5. It's a good way to end it off too, is actually like a somber ending with like literally the last part of the house is Mike walking up the stairs after the Dungeons and Dragons game. That would be fire just to cap it all off. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah.
I think so. Again, it's something I'm glad they're bringing it. And actually, George, I sent you the trailer that they use for HHN for Stranger Things. So just so you have it on your Instagram. But even the trailer for Instagram, that was pretty fire. Yeah. So I'm hoping, for an IP like this, I hope they, put the money and effort into it to kind of send it off instead of budget cutting it. You know what I mean?
Ooh, I like that. 100%. They got to do it. We'll have like the melting room with the plastic. That's going to be sick when Nancy's there. We're going to have probably when they're standing on the spire trying to get to Dimension X, we'll probably get that. How are they going to do the big mind flayer at the end, though, chasing them? We may even get like the last scene when they're playing Purple Rain with 11 like sacrificing herself. I mean, you never know what we'll get, right? I mean, there's a lot to do. Of course, we got to get Will too when he breaks all the necks of the Demigorgons, bro, and he lifts them up. We got a lot to work with.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Do you think that they would do like different scenes throughout the whole chapter 5 into one cohesive walkthrough, or do you think they would take maybe just the ending, so to speak, and like run it through? How do you think they would handle
for ours right now that they announced, or for a hypothetical?
No, like as far as like for Stranger Things, like how do you see like do you think that they would take bits and pieces of the whole chapter 5, or do you think they would just take one part of it and just stick with that in the house?
Okay, so they ended the last one, the last house, with you're walking through, the Dimension X where Vecna's at, where 11 was captive. So they ended it with that. That was a strong ending. I think they're gonna start out when we're in Hawkins, and like the Earth was like bound back together after it split, right? I think we're gonna get that, and then the episode 1, the crawl. I think that will be the majority of the first part. You know what I mean? And then I know we're going to get the tank when Hopper shoots it, and he thinks he kills 11 in it, but it was all Vecna playing a mind game. And then we have to get 12, right? Is that her? Or is it 9 or 12 or who? What's the other girl that comes in that's British, right? I think we're going to have to get some scene with her as well. That's going to be insane. So like, and we're going to get the tower, like the radio station, where they're at the radio station. There's going to be a lot to offer. So I think they're going to play through the whole season. I don't know. What do you think, Conductor?
I think they are. I think it would be smart for them to include as much as they can of season 5. Because one of the things we kind of all thought when it was rumored that Stranger Things was going to come to HHN this year was that they were going to have season 5, but it was going to play like minute parts, and it was going to be a kind of a mismatch of all the other seasons. And I'm kind of glad they're not doing that. I'm kind of glad they're focusing on season 5. Because, like I said, a lot of people kind of had mixed reviews about the season. So it makes sense that they would want to go out with a bang. And I think if Netflix is smart, since season 5 had its issues, they would want to help contribute to put the budget enough where they could do a lot in that house and make it like A class. That's what I think.
Yeah,
I mean, that's well said, bro.
Yeah, I think honestly they would have to, if you're going to call it Stranger Things Chapter 5, you have to focus on the whole entire.
Oh, for sure.
Don't just pick one scene and just work it into the house or one episode. Like, move along through the Chapter 5, like where, one after the other where it's cohesive. Where we get the finale. But yeah, I would definitely say they have to focus on the whole thing rather than just one part.
Well, I know they're going to put effort into the end where like all the kids are in the wall and they have, the tube down their throat and they're basically giving their energy or whatever, like Mike's sister, right? Or even in like the memory of Henry Creel, like that mountain wall area where he walks through and he could never do it, but he finally got through it. And then you see that doctor, how Henry Creel got his powers, but then it's like that doctor with the suitcase and stuff. Like that's supposedly a spoiler or like an Easter egg for the next series that goes with Stranger Things. So, they have a lot to do, like you said, Conductor. I mean, Netflix has an opportunity to like give this one last hurrah for their main show. You know what I mean? So I think you're right. And then I think you're right too, Hollow Gelato. I could see all that happening.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually of what Conductor sent me, which we've all seen probably on social media by now, but I thought, you know what? Let's give it a little watch, shall we? Let's see. Don't worry, I will bring the screen up bigger. All right, and here we go. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted.
Please come in. Stare too long, and you'll find these mirrors reflect only your darkest fears.
Crossover into Stranger Things 5. One nightmare of many. Only at Universal Halloween Horror Nights.
So you know what's interesting about this? Okay, so not the trailer itself, but I'm glad you paused it right here. I'm glad you paused it on the tent, because when you're looking at the tent, that seems to be the theme of the reveal for each house this year. So it seems like the last couple years with HHN that they have some type of, I don't know, atmosphere or, themed element they use to present each IP for, Halloween Horror Nights. And when I look at this tent, I'm kind of thinking that with a lot of the houses, a lot of the scare zones, the scare actors, it's going to be that kind of like carnival carny type sketchy, themed element to it. What do you guys think? You think I'm off base, or what do you guys think?
I think that's kind of interesting because we were just talking about it before we went live when we were talking about other speculations of what are the other houses going to be. And we had mentioned about like with Jack the Clown and then the Killer Clowns. And then I thought, well, do you think that's, kind of like overkill, no pun intended, of the clowns? Which for me it might be. And then Tommy, you had mentioned also with Terrifier with the Terror Tram, where he's a mime, it's still like inconsiderate of a clown. But now, Conductor, now that you mention with the theme of the circus tents, do you think maybe that's just the overall theme that they're going to go for this year for Halloween Horror Nights, where even though that we're going to have other IPs, we're going to have other kind of haunted like experiences, but maybe the overall gist is the kind of design universal to kind of look like this kind of haunted, forbidden circus, deranged circus kind of look.
100%. I honestly think that will be the case. I think when I look at this tent and how it presents each house, I'm honestly thinking that we're going to go back to pre-COVID type entertainment where, we had more of that edgier type haunt, scare vibe, atmosphere. We might have some entertainment. I'm not going to say we're going to have go-go dancers, even though I would love it. I know we had it at one point or another, but that turned into a debacle. But I think this signifies that we could be going back to something like that. You know what I mean? Because I think last year when they announced the houses, it was, what was it, like in a decrepit, like falling apart house, like a house from like It
last year.
Yeah, with
So
the
last
TV.
year, last year was the TV vibe. This year
Yeah.
it looks like it's the carnival circus vibe. I don't know why it gives me like American Horror Story vibes, but I kind of like where you're going with it, Conductor. Like I never connected it to the main theming of the actual physical part of HHN. I always
Sure.
thought just it was like an added thing that they did for the the releases or the drops and stuff. But I mean, who knows? I think you're onto something, man. Because especially we get all these clowns, like George is saying.
Now, with one of the merchandise item, Conductor, that you wanted, where as they drop each house, you have like the little figure that's placed around. Have they done that before, or is that new?
The carousel, no. They have done where they have, at least for the last couple years that I know of, they've had some type of like plastic, almost like art piece that's unfinished. And each house they pick, I think it was like 7 or 8 pieces. And when a house announcement drops, you could buy the piece for your little art display. And that's kind of what we're seeing this year. But instead of like an art display, it's kind of like a carousel. And what's interesting, and what I'm saying with the presentation of each house this year, using that,
This is what I was getting at. Yeah.
yeah, no. So it's that circus vibe. So what better way to present a circus by a carousel? Because carousels are in circuses and county fairs and whatnot. there's clowns and stuff like that. So it makes sense they're doing a carousel, but have they done that before? No. This is the first time they've done that.
And that was my question, because if that was the first time, there you go again, as you were mentioning with the overall theme, that it's basically creating a backstory without actually it being a story, if that makes sense. It's just a visualized story that it's like, okay, they're doing kind of like this abandoned, forbidden, kind of creepy, like circus tents that were, and then they utilize these circus tents for like the haunting, so to speak, for each house. So I think that would be kind of cool. So Mademoiselle is here. Welcome in. She says, I saw your alert, George, and rushed through my session so I can make it to the live. Yes, come on, Stranger Things. And she continues, I want to see Will the Wizard in all of his glory. I'm so excited.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think they'll show that one for sure, where his nose starts bleeding and his eyes turn white and he lifts all the demigorgons up and breaks their neck. That is like iconic scene from the whole show, actually. So they kind of have to do that, right?
Kind of like my college years.
Oh God, here we go. Was that just under 22 minutes already? First one.
Yeah, first joke. But real quick, going back to that merchandise, I kind of like what you were saying, Conductor. And then before we went live, we were talking about how there's only 7 spots for the Hollywood one. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering what IP they'll let off. Like, will they emphasize the Spanish Mexican one, or are they going to let one of them just hang off? Because I mean, then I seen HHN Speculation Matt post the new one over there, which is the same, but remember they have Jack on theirs now too. And it looks like it's filling up pretty fast. I mean, is it going to fit all of them, or is it just for 4? Do you get to pick what you want, or do they want you to complete the whole set?
I think they want you to complete the whole set. That's what I would guess. But I think Hollywood's going to have how many houses? 8 or 9?
Yeah, right. 8 plus the Terror Tram, the Terrifier's on there.
Okay, so 8. So you have to think about it. If there's 7 spots and already 2 of them are filled up, I wouldn't want to think that like the Latin house, which is going to be Quinceañera, I think that's not going to have a piece for the carousel. I don't think it is. Because if you look at previous years with La Llorona and that kind of art piece I told you guys about with the individual puzzle pieces, the Latin house was always left out.
Yeah.
So,
but then remember 2 years ago, Texas was left out, right? Chainsaw.
That's true.
So it's just so weird. It's like, if we're not getting an Ozzy Osbourne house, are we getting a Black Sabbath house again? And are they going to put Ozzy Osbourne on there, or is that the IP that's going to get left out?
I wonder if the new like Latin one is going to be left out of the.
That's the main one that I'm going with too, like what you guys are saying.
Yeah. But I mean, hopefully that they'll start dropping them a little bit faster and sooner, like in between, because like as of right now, we only got 2, and we still have a little bit of a ways to go. But also too, kind of connecting on from our conversation we were having from last night, is this conversation kind of already started when we're like, okay, they're never going to drop an HHN house before they make the announcement for Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift. Well, apparently that's not the case. So I wonder now if we are kind of overthinking it a little bit too much of how Universal is going to go about doing this. I mean, as of today, they dropped the Fast and the Furious Hollywood Drift onto the digital map on the app. It's not shown as like wait times or anything, but the visual on the map is there.
Yeah.
And also too, a friend of ours, Theme Park Wizard, is actually on location as we speak. Possibly, going to be going through the new security hubs and everything that they completed. So I'm for sure they wanted to complete the security hubs as well before all the madness happens with the Fast and the Furious. And then, Conductor, you said yesterday, I believe, that they started putting up the for like the extra queue.
They did.
Wizard was telling you about.
They did. So they've done multiple things as of today. I'm going to be going there Friday, so definitely stay tuned for updates. But one of the things we saw from pictures from today is the plaza area where they have all the Mega Movie Summer stuff. There is extended queue for the coaster already placed and ready to go. Then, the Stranger Things 5 HHN merch dropped. Then they opened the security hubs and removed all the barricades from the Esplanade outside the entrance gates. So now people could just flow in and not have a problem. Then I'm trying to think what else they did or what else dropped today that I'm not thinking of.
Okay, so while you're thinking that, Jurassic parking, ET parking, all of those parkings are going to lead me into that security area?
Yes. So the only one. So you'll have, like you said, Curious George, Jurassic Parking, ET. Those three right there. The fourth one, which is Frankenstein, is still going to use the security hub that we have currently, or the security area. But all the other three parking structures are going to utilize either the central or the one next to Curious George for their new security hubs.
So let's say when I come down the escalator in, let's say, ET, are there going to be walls? Is it diverting me from Buca di Beppo now?
Yeah. So what it's going to do, from what I understand, again, I will see it on Friday, and look out for Theme Park Wizard's video. He should be dropping it tonight, if not tomorrow morning. Is that when you go down the escalator of ET, let's say you park there, you walk across the little bridge, and just before you get to the valet drop off, like the Uber drop off, there's going to be a wall right there, so you can't get through there. So they're going to make you go. I think if I'm looking at it straight, they're going to make you go right, my right, and they're going to make you go through the security hub next to Curious George, where iFly used to be. If you're going to Jurassic, you're going to park. They're going to have the doors closed, and you're going to have to go down. There's going to be signs, but it's going to lead you down to the bottom level of Jurassic parking, and it's going to send you through the Jurassic or through the central security hub. So that's how they're going to do it.
Sounds good, man. I'll have to check out Wizard's video.
Yes, and he did tell me from his sources that the security screening process is a lot faster than before. He could not confirm at the moment if they are utilizing Orlando technology with the scanners and all that, but he did say it's a lot faster, smoother process than before.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
So obviously we should get something or other for Fast and Furious before another HHN drop. If we get another HHN drop before the opening of Fast and Furious, that is really bad. But I guess it depends on too how fast they want to get these houses announced too.
That's true.
So, I mean,
because you have to honestly think. I think they're going to leave either one, if not two, houses for Midsummer. And one of the things I am probably looking at, if I had to guess, this is just my early speculation, if Ozzy Osbourne and Hellraiser are going to be left for those, I can understand why. People have wanted Hellraiser for years. Now, when it comes to Ozzy Osbourne, there's a little back history to that because we lost him just a year ago. And I'm sure there's going to be a special tribute to him, his family, his legacy at Midsummer. And I'm sure John Murdy would love to go into detail about that. So if Ozzy Osbourne is a house announcement, I would think he would save that for Midsummer.
Well, and John Murray had mentioned on social media when someone asked him, are we getting Ozzy Osbourne? And he said, no, but pretty close. Do you think that, I mean, is Murray the type of person that could also kind of like psych us out a little bit where it could be, but just to kind of like lean us to look into a different direction, but it actually could be Ozzy Osbourne?
I think so, because I think last year when we got Art the Clown, I think hey Remedy, someone did an early prediction and guessed that and asked John, because John Murray loves going on X and doing like these spontaneous like Q&A sessions on X, and I think someone guessed it was going to be Art the Clown, and I don't know if he responded or he didn't respond. So he does have that type of history of kind of playing these mind games. So I would think maybe that's what it is, but again, that's just my guess.
He never says yes until the official drop from Universal. Like he never blows it.
But if he says no, does he really mean no, or could he?
No, he'll backtrack that sometimes.
He will.
Really?
He has.
Yeah.
He has.
But yeah, he won't straight up tell you though. But I like where Conductor's going. I mean, imagine Midsummer when they announce a Black Sabbath Ozzy Osbourne tribute house. Like, that's insane if they do that, bro.
Oh, for sure.
Do you think they would wait? Would they wait that amount of time to announce the completion of the houses?
Right, because they need people spoil everything, so including me, I guess. But like, you're seeing the house get worked on and it has like a bat or it looks like an Ozzy Osbourne thing, it's gonna get spoiled. But then on the opposite end is, what's your moneymaker houses to draw in the crowds, and will they wait for like a 3-week out gap to drop Ozzy to have all the rock stars buy the ticket? I don't know. They usually drop the heavy hitters in the beginning.
Well, okay, so since you put it that way, what I think they could do what they just did with Stranger Things, release a trailer officially announcing it, but then put something in the title where it says further details will be coming to Midsummer Scream. So maybe they do something like that, because I can almost guarantee you, if it is an Ozzy Osbourne Black Sabbath house or just Ozzy Osbourne in general, I am almost certain that John Murray would love to go into detail at Midsummer about it.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, that would be the perfect time to do it.
Yeah.
I think it would come down to the fact of, kind of like what you were saying, Conductor, where they would actually officially announce what the house is, but they kind of go a little bit into further detail at Midsummer.
Right, because you remember FNAF last year, Five Nights, we kind of got some hearsay of it and like an actual like image too, and they didn't officially drop a video for it till like the end. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so man, you're onto something on that one.
Yeah, no, 100%. So it could be the case, but only time will tell. Now, when George was mentioning about maybe a third house announcement before Fast, that's still up in the air as well, because it could happen. But then again, I kind of question, why is Universal putting extended queue in the plaza area where now Midsummer has kicked off, not Midsummer, I mean Mega Movie Summer has officially kicked off, and they're supposed to be having concerts in the plaza. They're supposed to be having photo opportunities, and all of a sudden they put extended queue for Fast and Furious. You would honestly think that maybe they're ready to soft open, not officially grand open, but soft open. I think they might be at that point, but only time will tell. Because if you look at it, okay, we all have to look out for videos today.
I want to see if the scaffolding is down.
Exactly. If the scaffolding is down, that means they are that much closer to possibly allow soft previews.
So if they soft open Friday, will they drop the release date for the general public? And real quick, I'm going to be melting alive in that extended queue. There's no awnings or anything. It's just straight heat.
Oh no!
LA,
Welcome back to Toy Story Land.
Yeah, gosh,
No
man.
kidding.
Oh my
God.
Lord.
Oh my
No,
God.
that is
I
true
would do
though.
it.
If they do a soft open hypothetically on Friday,
Yeah.
they would probably have to drop the official opening date because they can't have a soft opening, no one not know about it, and people are going to be posting it on social media, and Universal not give the official opening date.
Well, see, I could see both angles though, George. I could see they might do that. I'm not dissing you because that's a strong possibility. The other possibility is they might do soft previews for multiple days to see whatever fixes they made to the coaster actually worked before they announce a date. Because what happens if they start doing soft previews on Friday just to say, and
then
let's
they got to
say,
roll it back.
yeah, exactly. Let's say 3 days after the soft preview opens, then all of a sudden the coaster has issues. And
I would think that they would have like the certain amount of people to do that even before the soft openings.
You would
Like they
think.
already had people on there that were kind of like the guinea pigs
You would think.
to do that. I don't think they would even open a soft opening even for the team members if they knew that they weren't ready.
Well said. I like where you're going with that because why would they not be prepared? You know what I mean? They're really prepared with the security hub opening. They're not backtracking much. Universal normally doesn't backtrack. Granted, they did the date, the opening date. We can't get over that now. But I highly doubt they would stick with that date and announce it a week out, right?
Right.
Right. Like when it leaked out, they would have just wrapped it up and said, "Oh yeah, here's the official date." I don't know. That's tough. It's tough. It's a tough call. I mean,
yeah,
we all want to ride the ride. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. But I don't think Universal would be that bullheaded to sit there and drop a date, literally, a week, in between. There's no way. It'd be way too soon. They know the attention this coaster is going to bring from all over the world, and I don't think they would risk doing that. I just don't.
Yeah, me either, man. They need it because what if, like you said too, like last night, George, we need like Vin Diesel there and
Yeah.
The Rock.
Well, and the fact too that, as you had mentioned, Tommy, with June 26th, they kind of already dropped the ball with that. Whether it was true or not, it's out there. It was put out there. So if now Universal already has that on them, so with the same ride, then they say, "Oh yeah, here's the opening date," but then we can't do it now. People are going to start getting a little agitated with that. But yeah, they're going to have to schedule things because for when they do the grand opening, they said Vin Diesel was very heavily involved in this attraction.
Yeah. He has been since day one.
Yeah. So obviously he's going to want to be there. And as I said, kind of like that manly macho ego, we know if Vin Diesel's going to be there, The Rock is going to want to be there too.
Oh, for sure.
And that's why I think that it's not going to be around the time of the premiere of Moana.
Well, okay, let me ask you guys this, because part of the Fast and Furious franchise, as corny as it does sound, there was another movie series that's spurted off from Fast and Furious, which was Hobbs and Shaw. Do you think Jason what's his last name? Jason
No, you're right.
Yeah, you're right. Statham. Yeah.
Yeah, Statham. You think he would want to be there?
Man, that would be fire if he was there, man. He's the GOAT, man, of just fighting in general, right? The way X ended, or Fast X, with, them showing The Rock's character, Hobbs, coming back, and, they're talking about Aquaman, Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
It's like, we need the script to this movie. If they had it lined up perfect, I mean, we could have had X Part 2 or 11 like dropping coincidentally with this, but I guess we're
Well,
just getting the
can you
20th and
imagine?
25th.
Could you imagine a giant jumbo screen, like like one of those inflatable jumbo screens?
Yeah,
That while the cast is up on stage to promote this ride, they drop us the trailer.
that'd be dope. That'd be dope. I'm not gonna lie, that would be dope because they did something. I don't know if they had the actors, but George, do you remember? Because you of all people would probably remember this in downtown Disney. Remember the old little small stage they had, and they dropped the trailer for one of the Star Wars movies.
Force Awakens. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Dang.
Remember that?
I remember that. Oh my God, you couldn't even walk in downtown Disney that night. You wherever you were standing, that was it. You were standing until that trailer was over.
Oh man, that's crazy, dude. Now that you said that, will they do that with Doomsday, or are they saving Doomsday for? I guess not Spider-Man now. So are they saving Doomsday for D23 for you guys?
I think honestly, at this point, I think Doomsday they're probably going to save it for D23.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
If they drop the trailer before D23, they're going to give us that 20-minute part of the movie that they gave at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Oh man, how lucky you guys are, man. Well, you guys paid for it, so. But I mean, that's going to be insane. You guys are going to be like one of the very few that's ever seen.
That's why I only have one kidney. So
He sold the other one. No comment.
now I wanted to bring up before I bring up Animaniacs question, because this is a good question. But the reason why I brought up the fact of could we get another announcement of HHN, because of what we were talking about last night, Tommy, you had speculated that with all these movies that are dropping, there's a possibility the only open window, if they wanted to do it without it kind of cannibalizing the movies or the movies cannibalizing the ride opening, you mentioned July 24th.
Yeah.
Now, when they dropped Sinners, you told me, we were talking on the phone earlier, it was May 21st, which was a Thursday. Now, today, June 17th, a Wednesday, they dropped Stranger Things.
Right.
So basically, it's a little less than a month that they dropped for the second half. So if just to say they were to wait till July 24th to open Fast and Furious, I'm for sure we might get another HHN house prior to that.
And I completely agree. I mean, it's coming up fast, and they like to drop all. Yeah, exactly. No pun intended. And they like to drop like the main IPs shared by both Orlando and Hollywood. They like to get those out of the way a lot of the time. So they'll probably want to drop those before any of the other ones that are just per coast. So I think you're going with some, George. I think it's coming soon, and I think HHN's just going to keep flowing out. And we can't really compare them or put them together. The hard thing for me is after all that talk last night, does Universal even care about dropping the same date as a movie? Now I'm torn now. I was so stuck on it last night, but
and then until today, and when they dropped all this stuff, it's like, now is it out the window?
Exactly. They just threw everything under the bus for me.
Do you think that's kind of weird that they dropped the HHN house and the Fast and Furious on the app the same exact day?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I mean, that's kind of ballsy.
Yeah, exactly.
Ballsy.
Oh, for sure.
And trust me,
would they have done that if they were keeping the same date of 6/26? That's my question. Like, how much did they have to revert back, and how much was just pre-planned out that they kept already? And how many soft openings will there be? Because then there'll be employee preview night, there'll be media night, just like Super Nintendo World. All of us will get stuck for a while just watching it, but they can't wear any.
Now,
technology on the ride.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, again, I think this is how Disney does it, so Universal might do it differently. Don't they usually do team member previews before actually soft openings to the public?
Ooh.
Well,
I don't ever recall them doing a soft opening where the public gets on before team members.
I think this is the first time. I think this is the first
That's
time.
why I don't. I mean, I have to respect. I mean, I could be wrong. I will eat the crow. I can't foresee them doing a soft opening on Friday unless it's something for the team members. Because if you're going to do a soft opening for regular people that are going in, and they're going to have a queue line set up ready. So if it's a soft opening, the queue isn't going to be ready because that has to probably be done on the app. The line is going to be out the wazoo. Now, again, I don't know if maybe that's why that they're putting out the extended queue, but if they're going to do things for the team members, I've never seen an attraction where they do a soft opening for regular people before the team members. Every time I've seen it, team members are able to invite non-team members, like a guest or two. It goes from team members to AP.
Right. They still need that night too.
Right. So I can't foresee them doing a soft opening just for everybody, because then you're going to have the team members and the AP say, what the hell? Like,
in that extended queue, they're really trying to have you occupied. They want the dancers to occupy you. They want you to, look at the cars and stuff.
Well, that's pretty much that's pretty much a done get given, It's like
right. Yeah, I know. So like, what really, I like where you're going with that. It's just, if it's not a soft opening on Friday, what are we getting then? That's the hard thing, man. But hey, I have to gracefully bow out. Thanks for letting me stay on for an hour. I appreciate you guys, man. Kill the rest of the live. Thank you, everybody. Shout out Hollow.
Yeah, absolutely. Really quick before you have to go, Tommy, the last thing I'll say on it, I could potentially see them making the announcement Friday.
Yeah.
I just don't know if they'll open it Friday before the team members and the APs. But again, if they do, Universal sometimes doesn't go by the playbook. They just may, and I'll eat the crow. But
100%. The one thing I will say to you,
I know what you mean, dude. They don't go by the playbook at all, and that's the hard thing. We just don't know if they're going to drop it or not. But I know Conductor is going to be there live and direct.
I am.
So we'll get the boots on the ground, exclusive updates. So make sure you guys are following him on every platform. Thank you, Hollow Gelato, but I'm out of here. I'm about to get a haircut. So,
all right.
So,
Tommy soon, everybody.
All right.
See ya.
So, okay. It's interesting because I was looking on the app, and that's not the only thing that got updated on the app. So it shows the Fast and Furious roller coaster, like the building, the show building, the track. But one thing I noticed, the security hubs, the 2 security hubs, they do now show on the app. So that got updated. And then with everything announced today, Stranger Things 5 for HHN, the merch drops for that house. On top of that, we have the security hubs open. Then they put extended queue in the plaza area. And what else drops today? Media preview for Universal Kids Texas in Texas.
Mm-hmm. I did see that people, I forget who posted it. They went through the walkthrough in the resort hotel.
I think it was Theme Park Shark. Dustin.
Yes, thank you. That was it.
Yep. So again, Universal's dropping hits. Now I'm kind of just looking at my Apple Watch here, and I'm like, okay, Disney, what are you going to drop? Because it's like almost like a repetitive motion. I swear. One starts announcing something, the other starts announcing something, whether it's the same day, whether it's
Disney will drop some things here or there, and we'll get into that actually as we continue with the live. But I don't think it's going to be big things, because I think that they're going to save it for D23. And I think Universal knows this. So they have to get all their stuff out now.
Yeah.
Because when August comes, all their stuff is going to get overshadowed.
Yeah, that's Disney month. And I agree with you. I do want to answer Animaniac's question in the comments. So go ahead.
Absolutely. So Animaniac 2122 asks, if Hollywood Drift is a big hit with locals, do you think there's a chance Disney replaces the Incredicoaster with a more modern coaster?
You go ahead first.
Okay. Well, Animaniac, first of all, great question, and welcome in. And also Remy D, welcome in. John, everyone that we didn't get a chance to welcome in. But I think for me, Now, when you say modern coaster, I think honestly the track itself is very outdated. But I could see that they have it kind of like that seaside pier kind of coaster,
Yeah.
so they want it to fit that.
Yeah.
When you want to look towards more modern, they may eventually update the track, but I don't really think they'll do too many changes because I feel like with Universal, they're more towards like the high end super hyper coasters, those kind of thrill rides. I
Yeah.
don't think Disney like falls into that realm with it. So
Yeah.
if we were to update it, I would say they should update the track because I mean the track I feel like is old. I think they really need to update it. Give it some TLC, but I don't think they would kind of go away from it too far.
No.
Just because of the theme of Pixar Pier.
This is what I think, and this is just my speculation. If they're going to update the track, I think a new track refurb in every section warranted. Like, I mean, when Coco opens, when the two Avengers attractions open, I think the Incredicoaster needs to go down for a year or so, and it needs to be retracked. Same layout.
I have a hard question for you for that. Because you had mentioned Coco.
Yes.
Of what Coco seems like it's going to be, kind of doesn't fall in the lines of a pier. Kind of. You know what I mean? Like the Incredicoaster, it's like, as I said, like a seaside pier kind of coaster. Toy Story Midway Mania. You have the Midway. It's carnival games.
Sure.
This is supposed to be a more in-depth going into the story. It has really nothing to do with a pier. Do you think Coco is the start phase of them getting rid of the pier altogether?
I'm not going to say no, but I'm not going to say yes. It's always on the table. My prediction is that Coco, if you think about it, Coco might be the precursor on what we're going to start seeing in the Simba parking lot once they expand into that area. Because think about where Coco's going, it is kind of like hidden out of the way and not in the spotlight of the pier. It's kind of leaning more towards the Simba parking lot, which is obviously already, measured out to be theme park space. So what if that's why they chose Coco to be in that spot? Because a lot of storytelling is going to happen in the Simba parking lot. That's why they decided to put Coco right there, because somewhere in between that new fence line they built for the boundaries of DCA, there is going to be some type of opening to that fence line where it's going to have a bridge that goes across Disneyland Drive to the Simba parking lot. That is almost certain as far as we know. That's what my thinking is. But going back to the Incredicoaster, I think the other thing they would need to do, and I've told George this, if you're going to keep it the Incredicoaster, I have no problem with that. I have zero problem with it. Get rid of the white paint, and please, for the love of God, paint it either a charcoal gray, a black, red, or all three mixture of the colors, even yellow. Do those colors match the Incredibles theme? Because that white, oh my God. Like, I think they just opened the Incredicoaster back up. Me and George were on location at DCA, I think either the day of or the day after they opened it. And the launch section where they supposedly painted, it was all black again. It did not last long at all. It didn't.
Oh, yeah. Like when you do anything with the color white, like it just, no matter how many times you spruce it up and fix it, it's like wearing a white t-shirt. Like it's going to get stained. It's going to get worn down. It's just,
yeah.
Now really quick, because I wanted to kind of revert back to, because we got some stuff to discuss today.
Sure.
So I'm going to try to get it in. But I want to bring up Theme Park Shark because we were talking about it with the Universal Kids Resort. So I want to bring up a few of his things. Shout out to Theme Park Shark, by the way. So let me see.
In the mail from the Universal Kids Resort. And if you guys have been living under a rock like Patrick Starr, there is a new Universal Resort opening in Texas. And I'm actually flying to it tomorrow. So I guess this box is officially to get me ready for that trip. I'm so excited. Should we open it? Let's do it. All right, what do you guys think is going to be in here? Find out. Here we go. All right, we got some things in here, guys. Look at everything in here. Oh my gosh. All right, let's just start with this. Universal Kids Resort, a theme park for all of kid kind. That's pretty cool. We're excited to share an assortment of merchandise to help you gear up for your special preview of the Universal Kids Resort in Frisco, Texas. The character-inspired pieces are going to offer a glimpse of the vibrant collections you're going to discover across the park's 7 amazing lands, from playful apparel and accessories to plush and toys designed for a full day of imagination and adventure. We can't wait for you to experience the joy, creativity, and fun that awaits at Universal Kids Resort, and we look forward to seeing how you style your visit. And you know we're going to be coming in style. I mean, we got the Shrek hoodie already, so you got to be fitted up for these things. All right, where do I even begin here? I think to start things off, we're going to have to add the Shrek headband to my hat because we already got the hoodie, so might as well just add the headband, right? They sent out the Minion Banana Fan. I think this is really cool, so thank you for sending the Minion Banana Fan. Whoa! All right. I will definitely not be grouchy on my visit at the Universal Kids Resort. This is really cool. I love the color. I love the quality of the drawstring. This is nice. SpongeBob SquarePants plush rings. So imagine just looking down at my hand and just seeing, boom, Patrick and SpongeBob right there on my hand. All right, this is what we're working with. This just kind of reminds me of the best friends forever ring. As if all this wasn't enough, what else did they send me? A Puss in Boots tumbler. This thing's awesome too. Next up, they sent the Glow Hatchers from Universal. Whoa, this is going to be cool. Okay, so it's like a full-on keychain so far, but inside it's a mystery egg where you can collect a T-Rex, Blue, a Pteranodon, or Bumpy. These remind me of what we saw over at Burke. So obviously, I think these are going to be a big hit, letting kids hatch their favorite dinosaurs at the Universal Kids Resort. I think it's going to be pretty cool. Also in here, they sent me a Gabby's Dollhouse slap bracelet. So, boom. Are you seeing the drip right now? This is phenomenal. And finally, the keychain that'll top it off, my Trolls keychain. I like it. We'll just get that going right here. And guys, that is my box. Shout out to Universal and the Universal Kids Resort. The Universal Kids Resort. We're going to be there tomorrow. I'm so excited. Let's go! All right, guys, I'm at the Universal Kids Resort, and just like at Epic Universe, where you can come to the freestyle machines and have custom flavors depending on where you are in the park, of course, at Burke or Dark Universe or even in Celestial Park, there are Kids Resort mixes. You see it kind of pop up here in the corner. It says try Universal Kids Resort mixes, so I'm going to tap it. Pick your promo. You can try Sprite Chill or the Kids Resort mixes. I want to know what the Kids Resort mixes are, so here we go. Whoa. We have the Minute Maid Triceratops Twist, the Sprite Curious Cooler, the Minute Maid Pop and Punch, the Fanta Easy Peasy Orange Squeezy, I'm still deciding, or the High C Pineapple Passion. I want to go with what's screaming to me as, I mean, all of these, by the way, have some like connection. I mean, the Pineapple Passion obviously has some SpongeBob references, and then the Jurassic. I want to go, I think, with the Jurassic flavor. So let's go to the Minute Maid Triceratops Twist, which I think is really cool. We got it there. Let's get it loaded. Boom. And now the official taste test, guys. Cheers. I'll tell you what I'm thinking. Whoa, that's like almost like a little lemonade with maybe a little fruit punch. And maybe like a splash of like fruit. I don't know. This is like, it's like a fruit punch lemonade combo, I feel like. Watch that be completely off once like the official flavors come out. But I just wanted to show you guys, since I'm here at the Universal Kids Resort making my first video, I wanted you to know that the unique flavors are also here, which is really cool. All right, guys, I'm at the
I muted it so we don't get the copyright.
So I'm loving what I'm seeing, and do not get me wrong. I'm glad they built this park. I hope it does very successful numbers and revenue, where they possibly could build another one. To me, though, this kind of I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. For adults, like me and you, but for kids, I think it's going to be great.
I agree. Do you think like having it as a standalone, just like sitting right in Frisco, Texas, do you think that'll hurt it? If they would have did something like this but combined it into an already existing Universal resort?
Yeah, I think Orlando would be the obvious choice, but I'm glad they did a standalone. Like I said, I'm hoping for the best. But one thing I don't know. We've talked about it many times before, George. And again, our fellow content creators like Dustin from Theme Park Shark, many others, Mondo from Five Fires, David from Fresh Baked, Provo Pass, Justin Scar, the list goes on. One of the things, like for something like this would have been a very unique opportunity to kind of beta test and allow maybe a new select of content creators that are in our space to experience this media thing.
I think I agree with you. I think this would have been a great kind of startup, kind of tester thing, like for people that maybe wanted to have an opportunity, maybe to fill out the form for media. I think this would have been a great startup.
Yeah, I think always having the same media, which is the same people. Do not get me wrong; they do fantastic work. I am not diminishing any of them because they're fantastic by all means. I think just for theme parks, though, because you look at it, Disney, Universal, Six Flags, Knott's Berry Farm, all the different holiday events, all the special events, all the takeover, Passover nights, Magic Key events. The problem I see is, it's like a select few, and it's always that way. And the only way they're going to change it if these people ever retire and they just say one day they don't want to do it anymore. And I kind of find that quite sad. I would like both companies to embrace taking smaller venues like this and beta testing, where they just allow other content creators that never been in the media and give them an opportunity. That's the way I see it. I don't know. Maybe Josh tomorrow might look into something like that, because he seems like he's one of us. You know what I mean? He started out as like one of us, a fanboy, someone that enjoys the parks, the atmosphere, connecting with people. He's kind of like that techie guy. So maybe he might turn that around on Disney's part, and maybe Universal will follow.
It very, very well could. I don't know what it was when you said that he's one of us. It reminded me of the song from The Lion King 2 when they're exiling Kovu. Deception.
Oh, God,
disgrace.
See, here we go. You see what you're doing? Oh, God. John Make-A-Rain says, does Disneyland have those Coke machines? I don't think so. Do they?
I don't think... Like, they have, like, those kind of, like, machines, but not, like, with the mixers.
No, not with the mixers.
Yeah.
I think they do. I can't swear on that. I know Universal does. Like Hollywood, I know they do. I don't think they have the mixers either.
I don't think so.
But they have the machines.
And Abby says, hopefully we will get to see it. Yeah, we're currently in the process of trying to get a friend of ours, their family, because they travel out to Texas frequently,
Sure.
and so they have a young son. So we're trying to convince to say maybe we can go to the kids park.
Sure.
But also for me to be there, so I'm not this almost 36-year-old schmuck walking around with a camera, like just so
Yeah.
hopefully we would we'll see. Mademoiselle says love George singing. Conductor needs to sing too.
Not on camera. Not happening. This is not weddings.
You have I remember, I forget which song you started, like you just broke out singing. I forget what we were doing. We were at one of the parks and you just started, like, I think you said a word, and that word reminded you of a song.
It probably did.
Yeah.
It probably did. I'm not gonna lie. It more than likely did.
And then John Make It Rain says, hit up the Legoland in Texas too while you're at it.
There you go.
Well, I mean, if we're out there, we might as well. And then John Make It Rain actually agrees. Yeah, conductor, you need to sing too.
Not on camera. No.
Oh my gosh. And then let's see. Remy D says George finished Toy Story 1 with the kids yesterday. 3 more to go. Oh, okay. All right, Remy D. What's your? I know you don't have to write like a whole like synopsis, but what was your overall thought of it? What was your thought of Toys? And actually, what did the kiddos think too? I'm curious.
There you go.
Put it in there. Actually, this is like the perfect time, like, to like build up to before seeing Toy Story 5. So
100%.
I'm very curious. And don't worry, Remy D, the graphics of the CGI does get better over time. I think it's so funny when you go back and you watch Toy Story of how far it came with the technology, of how old it looks.
Yeah.
Like it still looks good. But I mean, like, I remember back in 1995, it was like the coolest thing ever to see that kind of animation.
Oh, for sure.
But now looking back at like how in depth it became, and you look back at the first Toy Story, it's like, wow, they came far,
They did. So they have that going on. And I was actually telling George today, I said I was watching Channel 5 News. That's our news organization out here in California, or one of many of them. And they were actually reporting that Rolling Stone put out a review of Toy Story 5. And they kind of weren't so kind to it. They were referencing a lot to deal with, today's issues and borderline political into this version of Toy Story 5. And as George has mentioned, I don't want to see that. I don't think anything political or anything of the nature needs to be in a Pixar film, especially a Pixar film we've grown up to love since the very beginning, since the 90s. So I hope that's not the case.
Yeah, I hope not either. I have a feeling it's going to be better than 4. I think anything would be better than 4. But I don't know if it'll level up to the first 3. But we'll see. I'm very optimistic about it, especially after seeing the trailers.
Yeah.
So Remy D says animation is crisp and holds up. Actually, the kids loved it. They could relate to Andy and losing their toys. Absolutely.
There you go.
I see. My daughter is kind of like the bad kid, always disemboweling the Barbies.
Oh, geez.
Abby says we will be borrowing a kid for Texas, so we should go to both parks. Yeah, that's probably best. I mean, since we'll have a kid, might as well do Lego and Universal. Mademoiselle says I still love 2D animation. Yeah, I do too. I hope they make a 2D movie back somewhere, somehow, some way. 2D animation is the best. And then we got it's Christian everywhere. What's up, guys? What's up, Christian? A lot happening today. I mean, we weren't expecting to. We got the Stranger Things drop. We got the Fast and Furious coaster up on the app. We have the security hub in full effect. I mean,
and he said he called the house. He called it. I remember him telling me he called it.
There you go. So what's your so for your number 3, which one are you calling for number 3 for the house?
Oh, here we go, Christian.
Gotta see.
What are you gonna call number 3? And little update. I said at the beginning, Christian, I will be at Universal with Theme Park Wizard on Friday. So if you are available, stop by. Let me ask you, because I know you wanted to talk about was there anything you wanted to talk about on the West Coast still, or did you want to jump?
I'm trying to think if there was anything. I think majority of it is over on the East Coast. Was there anything else you wanted to mention on the West Coast?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Do you have articles pulled up for the East Coast projects?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring them up as we go along. So kind of I'm trying to think which one we should do first. I guess since we're still talking about Universal, we'll do Universal and then we'll move over to
Gotcha.
to
Christian saying Killer Clowns is going to go number 3.
Oh, okay. Going Killer Clowns number 3. Now, Christian, I want to ask you actually, since you said that, because we were talking about it. So would they do Killer Clowns and Jack the Clown? Do you think that's like overdoing it with the clowns? Or do you think, as we were mentioning earlier, Conductor brought up that, when they showed the Stranger Things kind of like teaser, that it was in a kind of circus tent. So do you think that they're just kind of going with the overall back theme for HHN this year, kind of like having it like an abandoned kind of like circus kind of thing? So that's why they're leaning more towards the clowns. See, I'm hearing it's the year of the clowns. Oh, there we go.
That makes sense.
Of the clowns.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because that would be the Killer Clowns. That would be Jack the Clown. It would be the Terrifier, Terror Tram. So, I mean, as I said, yeah, it is basically the year of the clowns.
100%. So since we're jumping to Universal, but going on the East Coast, and I'm sure George is bringing it up. Are you going to bring up? If you can bring up, I think. Let me look on YouTube real quick. Give me 1 second. Bear with me, because I'll tell you what to look for here. It was from Attractions 360, Epic Universe Grand Opening Fireworks and Drone Show. If you could pull that up on YouTube, George, and maybe just not play the sound so it doesn't get copyright. There's reasons why I want you to bring that up, because it's going to tie into what Universal just announced.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I had Alicia Stella's up. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, whatever works.
Well, no, because I'll still bring that, because I think hers is just the article.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Well, I'll bring this up first, and then I'll switch it over to.
I'll send it to your Instagram.
Okay. So this is coming from Alicia Stella over at Orlando Park Stop. Universal's Epic Universe is getting their nighttime show, Universal Celestial Good Night. It's official. A new fireworks show has been announced for Epic Universe. Starting July 7th, Universal Celestial Good Night will combine 600 synchronized light fixtures, over 350 fountains, and 7 million LED lights, along with the grand fireworks finale.
Jeez.
Excuse me. The new show was just announced, but Universal has also given official comments on what could be next for Epic Universe. Now that it's a year old. And but she actually might have the video thing here. So let me see if it'll.
It's a
Oh no, this is. Let me see.
It's up there.
Talking about. Let me see if it actually. Oh, here we go. Here, I'll just I'll let it play.
Okay.
There we go. And this is courtesy of Alicia Stella over at Orlando Park Stop. I mean, I have to say, I mean, of what it actually looks like, how it does at night, because you've seen how Epic Universe looks at night.
Yes.
You know, so I think by adding this fireworks show, I think is it. I mean, we all were kind of waiting on it for sure. You know, yeah. So I mean, it's a long time coming, but I think this will definitely give some more life into Epic Universe, because as of right now, it is a great park, but there definitely needs some extra fill-ins for sure.
Definitely.
So was this something along the lines of what you, or is the attractions one a little bit different?
The attractions one is a little different because it shows the entire media show that it is basically what Celestial Goodnight is going to be. But I wanted to point out that during that media preview, the show, it seemed, and we'll get into it, but it seemed like there was too much going on at once. And the problem I see is, because I mentioned it on the live that I did yesterday on Theme Parkin', was that when you have a nighttime show and you have too much going on at once and you have too many different elements, people kind of get lost in translation on what they're looking at. And then people start getting disoriented, not knowing what to look at. They might miss things. So that's what the video from Attractions 360 showcases, because he filmed the entire media, firework, drone, projection mapping, fountains, lights, music, the whole 9 yards. There were 7 different elements to the show.
What is it called? So Attractions 360.
I sent it to your Instagram. I
sent it already. Okay.
Yeah, I sent the actual video. There's just a lot of there's too much going on. So it's kind of like the same thing for us content creators. When we make a thumbnail, you know, there are times, and I've been guilty of it myself, you make a thumbnail, whether you're doing it yourself or using AI or whatever the case might be, and there's too much going on the thumbnail to describe what the actual video or the content of the video is going to be about. This is kind of what I took a page from that and incorporated it into the media show for Epic Universe, when all the media was there. Mark Woodbury, the executives, everybody, actors, actresses, press, media, everybody. Everyone was down there. And it just seemed like there was way too much going on. And you'll see what I'm talking about when you bring it up. That it's just Epic Universe and Universal in general just has to be careful on how they present Celestial Goodnight. You know what I mean?
Okay.
If they add way too much into it, then people kind of just, I don't know. It kind of gets a little overwhelming to watch because you don't know what to look at.
Gotcha. Before we go on, I just wanted to just bring this up. It's Christian everywhere. I also had the chance to see Toy Story 5. Without giving too much away, spoiler free, Christian, if you're still on, Let us know what you thought, just like your overall gist of it. But while we wait on that, I'm going to bring this up. This is courtesy of not this. Why is this up? Let me get this off here. There we go. That's confusing. This is courtesy of Attractions 360. And here we go.
Let's
see if we can.
Yeah, jump a little bit,
Okay.
a little bit more, like maybe down the 3-minute mark. Keep going right there. Okay. So when you're looking at this, do not get me wrong. It's a beautiful show. I'm not even kidding. It's beautiful. But do you see what I'm seeing right now? You have fountains going, you have music going, you have fireworks going, you have lighting effects going. At some point through the show, you're going to see projection mapping on the Grand Helios. You got drones. Do you think that's a little too much?
Well, okay, so this isn't the. Okay, so no, okay, I thought maybe that was like the finale.
No.
I think honestly, the way that the format is set up, it kind of reminds me of Epcot. Now, when you watch a show like, I mean, these shows don't exist anymore, of Illuminations or Harmonious or even Luminous. Now, where we saw it, we were kind of in a kind of a secluded area when we were eating at Rose and Crown.
Sure.
Now, if you're out in the park and you're around the countries, you kind of get this kind of atmosphere look. So that doesn't really bother me in that sense because I'm kind of used to that. However, I do see what you're referring to is they're having the fountains and the fireworks going off at the same time. Because when your eyes want to look at one thing, you have to like look away to look at another thing. And if everything is going off at once, it's like, okay, could it be a little bit overwhelming? Now, of how they kind of throw everything at once, I would have done that for the finale. Give us all you got, fireworks, fountains, lighting, projection mapping, all that stuff. But I would kind of have liked to see it a little bit more cohesive, where do some fireworks, then bring up the fountains, do a little bit of the fountains, go back to the fireworks. But then again, I also know too that there's only so much time you could fit all this in a show, before it becomes too monotonous and like that as well. So I am just only going by what we're looking at right now on screen. And yes, I would say it seems like it's a little bit too over the top, but, and here comes my but, because I always say this, I will reserve full judgment until I see it in person for myself.
Or see it from, sources like from Attractions 360, because Celestial Goodnight is going to debut on July 7th. So we're only a couple weeks away from the show going live.
Right. Well, even to then, like, it's still different when you're looking through the lens of somebody else.
Oh, sure.
When you are physically at that space and you're watching it with your own eyes, you could then say, you know what? It is like the video that I watched, or it is, but not as bad. Or you could say, okay, it is completely exactly what I thought it was. Or you may say, this is nothing like how it looked. It's very deceiving.
Yeah.
So I can only base my opinion off of right now of what we're watching. That's pretty cool though. With the epic on the hotel.
Oh,
so
sure.
I can agree with you as of like what we're watching right now. Like, I think they're just trying to do too much all at once.
Yeah.
But as I said, I'll reserve full judgment until I see it like in person for myself.
100%. And again, we have to keep in mind there's the drones behind the Helios, by the way. We have to remember this is for media. So they go all out for media. I understand that. But if Celestial Goodnight is going to be like this, I agree with Remy in the chat where he says this looks too chaotic, and I would agree. I think John Make It Rain actually says too in the chat, if I'm not mistaken, or someone in the chat said it, that there's the the outdoor amphitheater that surrounds this main fountain here. There's really not any decent seating. You're sitting on concrete. So my question, and actually it wasn't even my question. I give all the credit to Jared from Capture the Magic. I'm pretty sure he's the one who said it, or it might have been Orange Grove 50. It might have been one of them. I can't remember off the top of my head. But they said, how is this show going to play out with Epic Universe exploring the open concept for Celestial Park? How is that going to tie in? Are they still going to do the firework Celestial Goodnight show with people that didn't pay for it and are in Celestial Park for free?
Are they officially going forward with that?
I don't know if they are, but they are still exploring those options.
Okay. I think that's, I'm sorry, I think that's a not so good decision made.
I don't.
I mean, yeah, I get it that it does kind of give off the feel of like a Disney Springs, but that's why Disney Springs is separated from the park.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you actually have something in a theme park, you cannot treat the operations like a Disney Springs and still want to have a theme park. It just doesn't work that way. I'm sorry. You talk about chaotic. That would be really chaotic.
Oh, sure.
Remy D says, after the fireworks being lit in the pool behind the I'm sorry, was that a question? After the fireworks being lit in the pool behind the hotel. Okay, maybe it wasn't supposed to be a question. I'm sorry. I'm curious how it's not a safety issue with cars coming in and out
for the hotel parking.
Yeah, because the parking is behind it.
That's interesting. Also, to add on to Remedy's comment, one of the things that was brought up, because they've been beta testing this show. Let's get real. They're building the infrastructure. They're beta testing it. We've seen it time and time again from random posts online. The spotlights that we started to see from Alicia Stella's video, that's kind of like in the backstage area where the little lake is. Technicians actually found out those spotlights have millions of little LEDs in the light. So when they turned them on and started beta testing the lights, they found out they were too bright. And then somehow the FAA got involved and said, hey, you guys need to adjust that because it's way too bright. And we can't have you guys shooting that type of brightness into the sky when we have planes going nearby. You can't do that. So obviously there's still some logistical issues they have to work out and fix, because you can't have that. I wouldn't want to be on the plane near Orlando if that happened. No, absolutely not.
But overall, I mean, as I said, from the little bit that we watched, I can see that there was like a lot going on. It was almost like having a Disney fireworks show and World of Color going off at the same time.
Yeah, it's chaos.
Yeah. So, but as I said, once I see it in person, then then I could actually do like a full on thing on it. But just going by of what it looked like on screen to me, yeah, that looked,
yeah,
I'd say a little bit too much.
Yeah, no, by far. Is there anything else you want to report on for Universal while we're on the Universal?
Yes. So I'm going to share my screen really quick. So this is courtesy of blogmickey.com. The Poseidon Fury's Trident knocked on as Lost Continent demo continues.
God, that's
Poseidon's Trident is the latest casualty in the ongoing widespread demolition of Lost Continent at Islands of Adventure. A mysterious new land is coming, but not before many more months of demolition. And yeah, that was the infamous Poseidon's Trident right here, now fallen into pieces.
God, I am so blessed that George was able to take me and Tommy down to see this before it got knocked down.
But dude, we made it at the perfect time before anything was touched.
Yes.
Nothing was touched.
Even though we couldn't experience the shows, we got to see the physical elements, and that was really cool.
Yeah.
You'll never see that again in a theme park.
Nope. And we got it all on camera.
Exactly. But my gosh, it tears the eye, because I'm telling you right now, once they, go about 20 feet to the other side where Mythos is, that's going to be a very
one's going to hurt. That is going to be, I'm sorry, a dark day in hell for me once they closed on Mythos. I'm for sure. I don't know if they're getting rid of the whole entire building or if they're keeping the building and just re-theming the restaurant. But no matter what, man, I get it. I get it. I'm a big proponent of you can't keep things around forever. I am. But man, did it have to be Mythos?
Exactly. Good point.
And I think honestly, no one would really know unless they dined at Mythos themselves.
100%. Because Mythos, and I probably sound like a broken record because I've said this so many times, but Mythos to me, the storytelling, the architecture, the wait staff, the food quality, it was top notch. I literally felt like I was in Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. It was that upscale and that heavily themed of a restaurant. I'm not even kidding.
I would potentially like to go one more time.
Yeah.
I hope. But if not, I am glad that we were able to go.
100%. And God willing, if they do close it, I think they won't close it until January of next year. And again, I don't like saying that, but I think they want to keep it open for the holiday season. I think there's just too much revenue to be made for them not to do that. But I think January, February, they're probably going to close it. The same time, they're going to close that Jurassic Park restaurant. I think it's Tango Terrace or something along those lines.
I know what you're talking about.
It's next to the Jurassic or the T-Rex photo op.
Yeah.
It's that restaurant.
I'm kind of hoping they close all that stuff down and do the demo. Yeah, and leave Mythos to the very, very last.
Yeah, because I am very curious about, because when I did a review on a Conductor Sunday live stream where Hollow Gelato was part of it, and we actually took a look at the Hammond's restaurant in Universal Beijing, and it's like the theming inside is almost to the quality of Mythos to a point, but with a way different modern touch to it. But it was like high class, high themed inside, and whatnot. The food looked really good. So I'm hoping if that's what that restaurant is, they bring Hammond's over and it's that type of scale. Because once we lose Mythos, I'm going to be honest with you, in the Islands of Adventure, do not get me wrong, there was a lot of great restaurants. I think the second favorite restaurant we ate at, besides Mythos, Mythos will be my number one by far. Oh my God. It was the restaurant that you took us, George, that was in the Pacific Wharf area.
Oh.
It wasn't in IOA, it was in the studios part.
Yeah, it was in the studio. Oh my gosh. It was in the harbor.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Abby's gonna kill you.
I know. I should know the name of this. Why am I drawing a blank?
Oh my God.
Hey, babe.
No, it wasn't Finnegan's, Remy. It wasn't that.
No, it wasn't Finnegan's. It was
It's like a Pacific Wharf type restaurant, like you would see in San Francisco, and it's right next to the night bus for Harry Potter.
Why can I not think of?
It's right there, and it's on the water too. Because we actually sat upstairs, and once we were done eating, our lovely waiter, she was really nice. Everyone was nice. The wait staff there, top notch.
Okay, so let me go back and check. I just wanted to check on something. So right now, dining reservations are still available for Mythos all the way up until December as of right now.
I believe it.
So we'll see, in 2027.
Anyway, we went on the balcony. We were overlooking the lagoon. We were looking at the Simpsons land, Men in Black. We were looking at some other stuff. We saw the train.
Lombard Seafood Grill.
Thank you. Lombards. Yep. I would have to say, out of the studio side, for Universal, like in the park, not outside, but in the park, I think Lombards would be my second. That was really, really good. Really good. I would go back there when we go back there next summer. If we do a Universal pit stop and Mythos is gone, I would love to go back to Lombards. I would have zero problem with that. Because
I want to go, honestly, I want to go back to Big Fire.
Oh, okay. This is funny. Okay, so I didn't get to explore even a fraction of their city walk, but I told George on the plane. I told going to Orlando. I told George when we got off the plane. I told George when we were dead tired getting to the hotel, and I told George another 20 times after that. I said, no matter what, we have to hit Big Fire. And we hit Big Fire, and my God, I hit a home run because now George and Tommy are both obsessed with that restaurant. It
is literally on. It'll always probably, and as long as they have it, it'll always be on my itinerary.
Oh,
because it wasn't. That was the only restaurant that Conductor set up, for us in a sense.
Yeah,
because everything else was already kind of like pre-planned and booked. So Big Fire was not on my thing, and it was the studios was closing early, and after the Mardi Gras, we missed out on the Hogwarts Express because it went down and everything. So we're like, okay, let's just go into City Walk. And he's like, okay, now now or never. Let's do Big Fire. And I tell you what, as I said, the service was great. The restaurant was great.
Oh,
the food was phenomenal. There was like everything that I've ordered. I swear to God, I've ordered a freaking wedge salad at every single restaurant that we've been in.
Okay. This is funny. This is hilarious.
Which we didn't do this on purpose, by the way. This just happened to happen.
No. It's funny, though. It's like a meme that me and George have. Because, like he said, every single restaurant, he ordered a wedge salad. Every single one we went to that had a wedge salad, he got a wedge salad. Every single restaurant we went to, if they had a bread pudding, I got a bread pudding. It was like almost simultaneously. And I think Abby got, what was it? It was a calamari. Every single restaurant.
Yeah, it was calamari.
And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Why is there like a three-peat going on here? You ordered something, I ordered something, Abby orders. It cracked me up. I was like dying inside. I was laughing so hard. Oh my God. But I will tell you folks, Universal City Walk out there is so much to explore. My God, that in Disney Springs, I can spend 3 days per area just exploring and trying new things.
Well, and we really didn't even really get to touch City Walk or Disney Springs, really, because Disney Springs was our last day.
Yeah.
So we didn't get to stay till nighttime when they have like all the concert areas, they have all the lights going on. Yeah, when we go back down, we have to like just dedicate a day
Oh, for sure.
for like Disney Springs and City Walk and stuff like that.
100%. Because one of the things, and Christian, shout out to my boy Christian, Big Fire is my all-time go-to when I'm 100%.
Mhm.
And I think actually, to give credit where credit's due, Christian actually told me when I first told him, I said, hey, me, George, and Tommy are going to go down to Orlando for me and Tommy's first time and check out everything. I think he even mentioned at one point or another, you have to try Big Fire. So shout out to Christian, because that's my number one hangout spot in City Walk down there. Now, I will tell you, one of the things I do want to focus on going down there this next summer is I do want to check out the Red Coconut Club, because
Okay, that was the other one. I couldn't think of it. You said there was two. It was Big Fire, and I couldn't remember what the other one was. It
yeah,
was the Red Coconut Club.
the reason why is because now that we have a bubble, a security bubble for Universal Hollywood, and possible nighttime entertainment might come back to our City Walk, I'm thinking with all the vacant locations we have in our City Walk, could we see a Red Coconut Club come back? Or not come back, but come to the West Coast. Obviously not be called Red Coconut Club. It would be called, like Blue Coconut Club or something along the lines, but it would be the same concept. Because I'll tell you, go ahead.
No, good. No, finish your thought.
No, I was just going to say, the Red Coconut Club out in Orlando, they're always doing something. It always has an overlay for, all year round, whether it's for Halloween, Christmas, St. Patty's Day, Valentine's Day, Mardi Gras. They have it decked out throughout the entire year with different theming, and I love that.
And that was another thing too. I'm so glad that we were able to be down there during Mardi Gras time.
Oh,
like
dude, that was icing on the cake with cherries on top. I was not expecting that. That was phenomenal. That was phenomenal.
That was awesome. But kind of going back to what you were mentioning about like City Walk with Hollywood Studios and Orlando and everything, after going into Big Fire, I really wish that's what they would have put out here than Toothsomes. Because I feel like with Toothsomes, because I've been to both, the one in Orlando and the one out here. The one in Orlando, it's booming. It's very popular. Out here, I feel like it misses the mark. I feel like that the demographic for Toothsomes isn't out here for whatever reason. But I feel like if they had Big Fire out here, it would be.
I think what missed the mark with our Toothsomes is the mere fact that it was popular at first, but then they start getting rid of the characters, the meet and greet characters. Then the food quality went down. Then a lot of the effects on the outside of the building, like the chimney stacks with the smoke, got turned off, not working. Some of the elements inside turned off. So I don't know why or if the reason, but that's just my overall thought on it. So who knows? But hopefully more restaurants will come that are Orlando based or something like that. And Christian says, I wish they brought that restaurant to our City Walk. 100%. Big Fire went and done. Oh my God. It went and done phenomenal. I think if we went and gotten a Big Fire and a version of the Red Coconut Club, we would be lit. We'd be lit.
Yeah, he says Hollywood is missing out on some good steaks.
100%. Because that Wagyu burger I had at Big Fire, I would get that in a heartbeat. That
now,
was delicious.
I really seriously doubt that they would ever consider doing this. I wish that they would. What if they literally, because they had to get rid of Mythos, if they literally just picked up the restaurant for what it was and threw it right into City Walk out here?
That'd be dope. That would be a hard reservation to get into.
I mean, or even if they did it in Orlando, put it in City Walk, because the Greek mythology theme is going to be leaving because of Lost Continent anyway, but you could still have that theme in City Walk.
Yeah, very true.
It's
Very
like, why
true.
get rid of it?
100%. I couldn't agree more. For real.
Absolutely. So now moving over to Universal's biggest competitor, their arch nemesis, their rival, the right to the left, the left to the right, the up to the down, the Chris to the cross.
Oh God, here we go.
Going over to Disney World, this is compliments of Drew, the Disney dude. Walt Disney World shared a first look at the wetlands coming to Disney Lakeshore Lodge in summer 2027. The wetlands will feature Heron Shores, Otter Springs, Daydream River, Lakeside Lagoon, and Perspective Pond. And I think there was another article that said that it was going to be kind of also based off of like Pocahontas, because I think it was Pocahontas, Bambi, and Brother Bear that were going to be implemented inside the hotel itself. But I'm going to bring these photos up to make it a little bit more clearer for you guys. So this is the overall resort of what it's going to look like.
It looks
when
beautiful.
it's completed, which now, mind you, too, this was the land that they used for the third water park that Walt Disney World had. It was River Country.
Yeah.
So now this is the Lakeshore Lodge, and then these are the pool area. I mean, based off of the concept art, I think it looks really nice. I mean, now they did say that 90% of this is going to be through DVC, which there are like third party, websites that you can buy DVC points, to stay and what have you. But I think like if someone is trying to call Disney World and try to book into this hotel, unless you're a DVC member, I don't think you'll be able to get a reservation for this.
Yeah. It's just, again, I love the hotel or the hotel resort. I love that. I think, again, and kind of going off subject, Walt Disney World is the DVC capital, for that stuff. Out here in Anaheim, zero reason whatsoever we should have a tower in the Disneyland Hotel Tower Center, as I call it, with one tower specifically being DVC. That was, sorry to say, a humongous waste of money. The most absolute absurd waste of money they couldn't have spent out here at the Disneyland Resort for DVC. We are never, doesn't matter if we have a third gate or not, we are never going to be Walt Disney World. That is never going to happen. We will never be that size. I wish we could, but it'll never happen. So there was no reason why we needed a strictly only DVC hotel tower at the Disneyland Resort. That was a waste.
Yeah, I feel like the demographic for like DVC members, I feel like with Walt Disney World, because it is the vacation destination that people travel to, even though that they do have DVC around the world, I just feel like, again, with the demographic being out here in California, I just don't think it like hits that mark. I could be wrong, but I just don't see it. Now, speaking of the different demographics between Walt Disney World and Disneyland, I wanted to bring this up because you had brought this up to me when we were talking, and I just thought it would be a conversation piece to bring up. This is compliments of wdwmagic.com. The Magic Mobile Pass in the Apple Wallet is getting an upgrade with iOS 27. Your Disney Parks Pass will show park reservations, event details, and upcoming trips in one live view. No need to open the My Disney experience. And I think that's quite interesting that Disney would actually go this route to kind of not diminish, but to have people not utilize their app. But I think for us as the consumer, as the investor, as you like to call us, or the fans, and yes, I think it would work really well. But as of right now, they're only doing it with Walt Disney World. Do you think, and I think you asked me this question, so I'll re-ask the question to you. Do you think, kind of like with the Magic Bands, because I know you're a big fan of the Magic Bands.
I am.
Do you, I mean, but I know you have your issues with them too, but do you think, along with like the Magic Bands of how it's done differently with Walt Disney World and Disneyland, do you see this as the same thing, or do you think like there should be really no excuse? Disneyland should do this too.
I think for Disneyland, this is my thought process, because the Magic Band technology, the infrastructure is already at the resort. We just recently got rid of the Magic Band, selling it in the park. Now, you could buy it online through the Disney store. You can still buy it, and it still works in the park. To scan in, to do interactive experiences, it still works, but they stopped selling it in the park. Now, do I think that with, everyday lives being on a smartphone, because to be honest, we're all slaves to it. We can deny it all we want, but our lives are on our phone. Let's just get real. So I think, having your Magic Key, we call it Magic Key out here on the West Coast. Magic Key, I think it should be the same thing for, in Orlando at the Magic Kingdom, where you can have your annual pass or Magic Key, whatever you want to call it, on your Apple Wallet. That should never change, no matter if it's West Coast, East Coast, or East Coast, West Coast. That should never change. It should be the same across the board. And the fact that Damaro, who is the newest CEO of the Walt Disney Company, is saying that he wants to figure out a way, and they have been testing on the waters, how to take all these Disney apps and create a super app. I would think in his mentality, they would want to maybe build the infrastructure working with Apple and iOS 27 to incorporate that at the Disneyland Resort. Because if you think about it, as much money as they spent for the infrastructure for the Magic Band at the Disneyland Resort, even though it's not even the same uses that you see in Orlando, the abilities are definitely different. I think they already spent way too much money on it, and it's hard to stop now. I think they got rid of the Magic Bands out here at the Disneyland Resort because they're going to come up with a newer version of it to the quality of, Walt Disney World eventually. I think they kind of messed up in a way, and correct me if I'm wrong, but they messed up when you look at the hotels that we do have on property, the Grand Californian, Pixar Place, and the 4 Disneyland hotels in the little center they have. They could have easily done section by section and updated the door handles on the hotel rooms for that Magic Band, where you could just tap it and open your door like you can in Walt Disney World. And I actually got to experience that using the Magic Band, and it was quite nice not having to pull my phone out. I just think, do I think that would be an easier transition to go to? Yes. You would still have to use your phone, but it would be easier, where you could just use your Magic Key. You could tap it. You could use it as a debit card. You could use it to open your hotel room. You could use it to pay for parking. You could use it to buy merch. So let's say you forgot your wallet at the hotel room, and you don't want to trek across the damn Esplanade and downtown Disney to go all the way to the hotel room, leave the security bubble to come back through security just to grab your wallet. You know what I mean? Or vice versa, going in your car and getting it.
I mean, technically that is true. I mean, because you had mentioned like we're all kind of super glued to like our phones and stuff. And to use our phones, we really drain our batteries down. And just to say, if your phone dies down and you have to charge your battery,
oh, you're doomed.
You're done, and you're not in the park already. Then it's like, well, you have the Magic Band. It's like you're good to go.
And the thing that I love about the Magic Band is the fact that you, correct me if I'm wrong, anyone in the chat, but I don't think those need to be charged in order to register your magic key. Now, if you want to do the interactive experiences, it has to be charged. But I think it has something called a NFC chip inside the Magic Band where you could just tap it even if it's dead, and you could still get into the park because your Magic Key's linked to it.
See, I wish they would kind of do that with the phones. That if your phone is dead, that there's something of a like inside the scanner that'll pick up if you have a Magic Key that's linked onto your phone or an annual pass, and it scans through.
Yeah,
because that would be very annoying.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of technology, I wanted to bring this up as well because this was very interesting. This is compliments to blogmickey.com. Walt Disney Imagineering will soon leverage Adobe AI tools for theme park design work. The custom models will be built upon more than 70 years of Imagineering data. And it kind of showcases like the Doom Buggy for the Haunted Mansion and the Mad Tea Party teacup and everything. So it's not even just moving forward, but the fact that they're going to like put all this data in of over 70 years worth of Imagineering work and stuff. What say you on this with the Adobe AI?
Okay, so I actually said this on Theme Parking the other night. I said with AI, it's here to stay. It's not going away. So instead of fighting what's already here and what's already starting to not take over, but embed itself in everyday lives, I said, well, AI, Disney can use this to their advantage. Because if you think about it, when an attraction gets announced by Disney, by Universal, by a manufacturer, it takes a while. They can't just snap their finger like Thanos and they already have half the ride built. That's not how that works. I think AI for the designing part of the attraction, the ride vehicles, the immersion, I think AI could help in that department to speed up projects. Now, do I think AI should replace actual Imagineers? No. But when you're designing a new attraction, like we see on screen right now, as an example, the Haunted Mansion and the Doom Buggies, I think AI can help that process of the project, the very beginning stages of the project, and how how AI can help speed that along, where we're not waiting 5, 6, 7 years for one attraction. We might wait maybe 2 to 4 years, and how AI can help with the projects being built, with hours needed, what type of crews we are, what type of infrastructure needs to be built in what area of the attraction, what type of electrical components we need for a certain section, what type of lighting. AI can help with that. But when it comes to the actual physical building part, that's all 100% human relations by every means necessary. But I think AI could help in the early development of attractions, shows, infrastructure, to only better improve the guest experience.
I think so. And I think, honestly, if AI is utilized in that way, than that's using it for the good. And I agree with you, not to take jobs away,
No.
because there is such a thing as it being, utilizing AI for the good and for the not so good. And we don't want where something takes away jobs of people. We want people to have their jobs. We want more jobs to come out, especially after what happened in the events of like 2020 and what have you and everything. So, people are still trying to regain their living and their financial status through that. So to have AI come in and take their jobs away, human creativity, you have to think humans created AI.
They did.
So it's almost like to the fact of that we're creating our own downfall. But again, if we work with AI and we utilize it in a way that is healthy and can be done properly,
Yeah.
then I think everything that you had mentioned would survive.
And actually, Shane Nalrani comes out with a great comment. They said they can use this tool to see it before they decide to make the decision to make the product, maybe help see some of the problems that can come up. And I'm going to add this little part in the process of the development. So Sean Narani makes an interesting point on that. Like I said, I'm not advocating for AI to take over jobs. That's not what I'm saying. But as prices go up, it seems, I would like to see projects go a little bit quicker. You know what I mean? And AI can definitely help with that.
Do you think they'll utilize this with like Coco and Avatar and the projects? Like we're already kind of well, I mean they could technically utilize it for villains, and
they could
Distant Peak and Monstropolis, because even though they started the construction, I think as far as like the actual attractions themselves, I still think that they can. So do you think they're utilizing it for those projects, or do you think this is something that will be done like 15, 20 years down the road? Of like, not like it'll be done in 15, 20 years. So sorry, like utilize it on projects now, but we won't see it till 15, 20 years down the road.
That's an interesting point. I think what you're saying about 15 to 20 years, maybe even sooner than that, maybe 5 to 10 years. But my thing is, we're already starting to see AI, on both sides of the spectrum. If you think about it, in the studios, we've seen AI. Perfect example. They tried to AI Harrison Ford in the latest Indiana Jones movie, and that didn't look right.
Yeah, that looked horrible.
Yeah, that was not good. And then they've done infrastructure with AI. I'm trying to think in the parks. Where have I seen it? Because I know I've seen it, but it's not like, it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. Like, I mean, for example, okay, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know this for sure. This is just my own speculation. But if you look at the trash cans that just debuted at Walt Disney World in certain sections of the parks, they have the solar panel trash cans. That's supposed to help with efficiency. That's supposed to help with cleanliness. Supposed to help with the janitorial staff, to make their jobs a little bit easier. So we're already starting to see stuff like that be implemented in the parks.
Mm-hmm.
So again, AI could be used for the greater good, or it could be used for bad things. And we've seen both sides of the spectrum. So who knows?
Yeah, it is very true. And Sean Arani says AI will take some jobs away, but will also create new ones.
It will. It will. With any new thing, you have to imagine, jobs are going to be gained and lost. Like, perfect example, Poseidon's Fury, Sinbad. Imagine all those stunt performers that performed in those shows. Where'd they go? Maybe a quarter of them, maybe half of them. They got transferred to other areas of the park, and maybe half of them got laid off. So it's basically the game of checks and balances, but in this case, it's gain and losses. So again, AI can either be detrimental or it could be a good thing. It's how they utilize AI is the question, and not everyone is comfortable with it. So the parks, and I'm speaking for Disney and Universal, they have to be very careful how they utilize it.
I agree. I do agree. Another little piece of information, not a real big one, but I thought it was worth mentioning. This is coming from, again, blogmickey.com. Shout out to them over there. They do amazing work. Level 99 that will be opening up in Disney Springs has set an opening date, and tickets will be on sale soon. Let me see. I don't know. Like, it didn't say. Surprised I didn't put it actually like on there. Let me bring up the actual article.
I don't even think I walked past that building. When I moved down there. I didn't even know
that. June 29th. June 29th. The grand opening date for level 99, and it just says tickets go on sale soon.
Interesting.
So what say you with like, is this something that you think helps like with Disney Springs? Like, or do you think this is something that is like, I mean, because they used to have like it Disney Quest, the indoor interactive theme park. But they kind of got rid of it just because of it was costing so much money to maintain. People were not really utilizing it. Like people that were going on vacation, they didn't want to go to a kind of like video game kind of thing. They wanted to go to the theme parks. So with this level 99, what say you on like that next gen of Disney Quest?
I think this level 99 is going to cater more towards the locals that go to Disney Springs for, for a night, for maybe a couple days, staying at the local hotels. I think that's what it's going to cater for. I don't really think it's going to cater to the tourists that much. I think it's going to be a more local business than anything. That's what I think.
I agree. Yeah, I think like for like, yeah, kind of like a hangout spot. And
because even tourists like us that went to Disney Springs, we're checking out stuff we can't see on the West Coast. Not saying we have a level 99 out here, but we have stuff like Dave & Buster's. That's what this kind of screams to me. It's like, I'm not paying $5,000 to fly half across the country to sit there and go to a version of Dave & Buster's when there's so much other stuff that we don't have here on the West Coast that I want to experience. I want to see. I want to, eat at and try new things. And all. Level 99 is not going to be one of those things. I could promise you that, at least for me.
Yeah, same with me. Yeah, I wouldn't spend all that money to go to Orlando to do level 99, even though it could be really cool.
Sure.
But again, like if I was there for like a long period of time, and it's like, okay, like need some filler kind of things, let's go check it out. But yeah, that wouldn't be on like my main priority itinerary.
No. Oh God, no.
Now, this really doesn't have anything to do too much with Disney or Universal, but this kind of dropped yesterday, and I think it's still something worth bringing up because I'm very curious to see what you think about it.
Sure.
So this is coming from Attractions Magazine. Dollywood has officially delayed the opening of Night Flight Expedition. The park's highly anticipated new attraction, originally slated for spring 2026, is now targeting a mid-August debut, according to an update from Dollywood Parks and Resorts president Eugene Naughton. And then I'll bring up the concept art. Again, this is like the highly anticipated new next gen kind of attraction where it's a hybrid of a roller coaster and water ride. And it didn't really give us like too much of like what was all going to be involved with it. But is it surprising to you that it's delayed? I mean, because it was supposed to open. Technically, I would think it was already supposed to be opened, and now it's going to be targeting for like mid-August.
I'm going to tell you this: you know, after seeing what happened with Stardust Racers at Epic Universe, and being that Mock Rides built Stardust Racers, now they built this for Dollywood, I could see where there's concern. I could see why there might be delays, and maybe I'm not even speaking the right language. Maybe I'm just coming up with my thought process. But the way I see it, I see why there is delays. But think about it. Dollywood is a single corporation. Like, I mean, there's not another Dollywood. There's only one Dollywood, and that's it. So I understand that as well. It could be due to weather. It could be due to materials. It could be due to, like I said, mock rides. Dollywood's really taking a cautionary approach to this attraction, being that it's not a full coaster ride, but it's not a full water ride. It's a mixture of both, which is the first of its kind. So that's probably where that cautionary part's coming in.
That's a good view on it. And honestly, you're right. I think with it being like a newer type kind of ride, and it hasn't been utilized to the public, but it's also because of, you mentioned like with Stardust Racers and what have you, that especially coming from Dollywood, they're not going to want to take any chances.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, so I could definitely see that precaution. Now, kind of going overseas for a second. Now, as of this live, yesterday marked the 10th anniversary of Shanghai Disney, and we were all kind of speculating that they were going to announce the second gate, which they did not. So I'm assuming that they're probably just going to wait till D23 with that.
Oh,
however, they did mention about some extra info on the second hotel that we already knew that they were going to get. And this is courtesy of Boardwalk Times. Shout out to Boardwalk. Shanghai Disney Resorts. Oh, sorry, not second, third. I do apologize. Not second, third. Shanghai Disney Resort's third hotel will be the Disney Enchanted Star Hotel, inspired by the fabled wishing star and the enduring idea that wishes are at the heart of every Disney story. The hotel draws from Shanghai's cultural heritage while incorporating Art Nouveau influences. 400-room deluxe hotel. This hotel is expected to open this winter.
And I'm going to tell you this. When they make that type of announcement, and I mean like a date in winter, that timeline, I believe a lot more than I believe when we get timelines out here in the US for Disney projects. Because the Oriental Land Company, which maintains Tokyo Disney, if I'm not mistaken, right, George?
Oriental Land Company is Tokyo. Yes.
Okay. Being that, yeah, okay. When they make an announcement on something that's going to be opening or starting construction, they're Johnny on the spot. They're pretty damn accurate. But that's because Disney's not controlling the cash flow for these projects. So I believe it. It looks beautiful. It looks absolutely beautiful. It kind of has that modern look to it. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is kind of looking like an old school Hollywood hotel.
Yeah, it has kind of like a Victorian kind of, as I said, like that Art Nouveau kind of thing. As I said, it's going to be a 400-room, and they're calling it a deluxe hotel. So I do think that it's quite interesting that they mentioned the hotel and not the second park, but I think it makes sense because if they are building up to mention the second park at D23, this is a nice way to kind of open up the conversation, so to speak.
Well, 100%. In our lovely man of the year was there with Josh tomorrow on stage speaking. It's like, okay, Iger, how many more appearances are you going to make, bud? You know, you only said you're retiring how many times?
And he just got another
He did.
award. What was that award? I forget. I remember it was like
I think it was his involvement in Shanghai Disney and the 10th anniversary. I think it lined up with that. I could be wrong. It was something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But this guy, I don't know what it is. He loves being in the spotlight. I've never seen a CEO that says, I'm retiring, I'm taking a back seat, I'm going to lay low for the rest of the year. And I've never seen a guy like that be in front of so many cameras and get so many awards ever in my life. If you want to start giving awards, give it to Eisner, for God's sakes.
so here's
Remember that guy?
well, here's the thing, and I feel like even just with that, it's like when Eisner kind of like bowed out gracefully, he was done. That was it. It was like,
Yeah.
you know, so it came from laughingplace.com. Bob Iger was presented with a statue commemorating his role in the resort. Yeah, it's a replica of the top spire of the castle.
There you go. Okay. Makes sense.
And Sean Narani says this might be the start to the second park. For them to have a second park, they need places for people to stay. So a third and fourth hotel will be needed. And that's very true. You know, to actually have another hotel, why would you add another hotel just for one park?
100%.
You know, if you're doing well already with one park and one hotel, why build a second hotel? Or, God, I keep on saying, sorry, two hotels for the one park. If you're doing well, why would you need that third hotel if you're not going to add a second park?
Exactly.
Okay, let's see. So I think the final topic I wanted to bring up, and I saved this one last because I felt like this one was a little bit of a doozy. And kind of, I don't want to say controversial, but there's a lot of mixed feelings of it either way. I'm trying to get the actual I want to get the actual article up. But in any case, I'll set the stage for it that starting the day after the 4th of July, Disney Springs at Walt Disney World will be implementing that you would have to have a park reservation, a dining reservation, a activities reservation of some sort to be able to scan onto the buses from Disney Springs to travel throughout the resort. And a lot of people are saying, okay, well, you know, this is how we resort hop. We go to different places around there from Disney Springs. And I guess what a lot of other people are saying on the opposite side of the spectrum is that people tend to kind of, and I'm not saying this for everybody, I'm just saying this is what a lot of people do, is they'll cheat the system. They'll park at the Disney Springs complex, get on the buses to go around the other parts of the resort so they avoid paying the parking.
Yeah.
And Disney was trying to kind of get away with that. But I wanted to get your thought process on it because I understand both ends of the spectrum, but overall, I understand why Disney is going this route, whether people are happy about it or not. But what's your overall thought?
So my overall thought on it, you know, after listening to multiple opinions from multiple different content creators, watching how people are reacting to this, I kind of say with a heavy heart and a kind of fine line with the rules is if you're going to the theme parks, don't sit there and try to scam and sit there and, you know, listen to these TikTokers that people listen to and say, oh yeah, this is how you could get free park. Don't do that, because now Disney paid attention. They're putting an end to it. Now we're having to do an extra step to sit there and get on these buses that are meant for people staying at on in the bubble at these hotels that's in the Walt Disney World bubble. And the problem I see here, and this was also reported, is that people that were staying on property, they were having to wait even longer to get on these buses compared to the people that literally just parked at Disney Springs, avoid the parking fee at any of the parks, and resort hopped using free transportation.
And that's where I have an issue with it, where if I am spending more money to be in that Disney bubble, and I have to then, and it's an operations issue where it's overcrowding the transportation because, yeah, you have a lot of locals that are just pulling up parking and utilizing all our perks of staying on the resort, even though it was open to the public before. That was never an issue. And I don't have a problem with it being open to the public. But again, when it is being abused in the system where it's hindering the people who are staying on property, I can see why Disney had to make that difficult decision.
And again, this is a just laundry list of Disney perks that have been taken away because of abusive use. Same thing with the DAWS system. It used to be complimentary, where if you have a disability, you just go to guest services at any of the parks. Usually it's the city hall, and you explain your disability. The cast member will write you a DAWS pass, and you can use it on the attraction, skip the lines. Well, people abuse that privilege. Now it's like an arm and a leg going through a process to get the DAWS pass. Now we're seeing it with this. So it's just like, I hate to even say this, but people take advantage of these perks, and it ruins it for everybody else. And people that, maybe watch this even right now or later on in the future, you guys know who you are, and you ruined it for everyone else. Whether you want to admit it or not, you did it. And I don't know why people, listen to these TikTokers and social media people that try to avoid stuff like this to save a buck. I understand it's not cheap. Me and Hollow Gelato deal with the same thing. We're in the same boat as you, but you don't see us trying to pull stunts to save money. It's not good business. It's not a good relationship to have with the parks, with any business company, doesn't matter, or even just a person-on-person relationship. You just don't do that. You don't do that. Regardless how people feel, the people know who they are that caused this, and now it's forcing Disney to do something they didn't want to do. Now, for people staying on property in the Disney bubble, or Walt Disney bubble, sorry, the Walt Disney bubble, now they have to now go through extra steps to make sure they could get on the bus, which used to be a free perk for everybody, to make sure they get to their destination, which also puts a damper and effect on the buses leaving on time. Because now they're going to have to add extra processes to get everybody checked in on the bus to make sure they are staying on property, which will hinder time, which a lot of people that are visiting from out of town don't have the time. They want to be at Magic Kingdom at Rope Drop. They want to sit there and go eat at one of the restaurants for breakfast that's probably harder than hell to get into.
And I think, too, this is also to try to encourage people to stay on Disney property.
Yep.
It is an incentive in a way, because if we're staying on Disney property, then you don't have to worry about it.
No.
No. And it kind of falls under the same thing, even for not just the locals, but for the Florida content creators. Because I'm sure a lot of them, now again, I'm not saying that they abuse the system, but I'm just saying to make it easier on themselves, that if they're doing coverage throughout the resort, that they park in Disney Springs and they go around and do their rounds and everything. But I guess it's just getting too much for Disney. And Animaniac asked, could the change have to do with the improving security at the hotels? I mean, it very well could. I mean, because if you look at it that way, you're not just getting anybody going to the hotels. You
No.
know, it's Disney confirming, okay, you're not just going to the hotel for whatever reason, like you have a specific purpose that you're going to this hotel for a dining reservation, for a recreation reservation, for an activity, for a park. So it's not just, okay, you're just going. Now, again, this is only right now starting at the core of Disney Springs. Eventually, they may do it at the hotels,
Yes.
you know, but right now it's just at Disney Springs and then it going to the
100%.
resort hotels.
Now, I'm going to tell you this. This could be an option. Not saying it would be, you know, something Disney would do, but it's something they might consider is for the annual pass, you know, holders out there. If you're not the top tier pass, let's say you can't afford $1,700 per year. You know, I wonder if they would offer a parking pass for Disney Springs as an add-on to your annual pass. If you're an annual pass holder out there, could that be a possibility? Could it be part of your vacation package? Could that be an add-on? You know, there's all these different situations and avenues they can explore that they didn't think they would need to explore. But again, because people abuse the privilege, Disney now has to consider these extra steps that they probably didn't want to do in the first place. But they have to because it's just getting way out of control.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. And it's almost like, again, people kind of complain both ends of the spectrum. They say they want perks. Oh, you know, we're a valued Disney Resort hotel guest. We want the perks. And then as that being a perk of staying on property, Disney says, you know what? We're going to look at our valued guests, and rather than just people just coming in and then people get on them for that. Well, it's like, well, which way do you want Disney to go? Like
100%.
You kind of have to pick and choose your battles here.
You do. And that's something that, you know, Disney and any company, Disney, Universal, any other company would look at and say, hey, does the decision benefit us in the long run, or does it benefit us in the short game? And most of the time, they won't make the decision unless it's going to benefit them in the long run. And that's going to lead to better positivity in the long run. Because obviously, when they make the change, you know, it's obviously going to be negative because everyone's going to take it negative. But then after a while, it will settle down. So that's something that each company looks at when they have offered something for so long as a perk and now is taking it away. And people are like, what are you doing? Well, this is why.
Yeah. And they did already beta test this already. I think they did it for Memorial Day weekend and Easter weekend. I think it was Memorial. I know they did it for Easter. But it was successful. So they probably look at that data. And I guess people thought, okay, well, this is just going to be a temporary thing. They're just doing it because of the holiday and what have you. And they could very well could have. But I think deep down, they were kind of utilizing that as the testing ground for them to make the move that they just did right now. Yeah. Which I'm very surprised I'm surprised that they did. They're doing this after the 4th of July. You would have thought they would have started it for the 4th of July weekend because there's going to be lots of crowds of people there.
You would honestly think so, but it's kind of hard because think about it. You got 4th of July, okay? You got Father's Day this Friday or this Sunday. You got 4th of July coming up after that. What's coming up literally after that?
After 4th of July?
What's the next biggest holiday? You know what I mean? Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So why not implement it between the time after 4th of July and Halloween to kind of get the system, beta testing a lot more, fix the critical issues if they have issues, and have it pretty perfected by the time the holiday season kicks off in probably mid-September, early September. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is true.
So
I do want to bring up, even though this was, the topic we were talking about Shanghai, but I wanted to bring this up because I didn't get a chance to. From Sean Narani, China, I believe, is the Shin Group. Disney also owns 43% of Shanghai Disneyland. So yes, that is definitely good to know. And then John Make It Rain says, I don't want them to waste so much space on hotels. Space is limited in Shanghai. Well, here's the thing with that, John. The amount of space that they purchased for the Shanghai Disney Resort, there's lots of acreage there. There's actually enough acreage there. I think they can do a 3rd and 4th theme park in that sector of what they bought. So because if they were to make multiple theme parks, you still have to kind of bounce back off of that where you need hotels, because the more theme parks that you build, there has to be an equal amount of ratio that if more people travel there, you have to have more hotel stay, because again, I'm just that person. I love staying in that Disney bubble. I think honestly, even when it comes to the international parks, whenever I get the chance to go there, even though it's probably kind of pricey, just to say that I did it, that I know that I'm in the bubble, even if it's for a couple nights, that I would want to stay at their resort hotels.
100%. And to kind of add on to that for the international resort hotels, one that I want to stay at. I know it's going to be expensive. I already know it. I can just see it in my mind. I can forecast it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not a fortune teller, please. I want to stay at the Disneyland Paris hotel. That's literally right there. I want to stay right there, have a window view room of the castle. That would be awesome. I know, again, probably tons of money. And hopefully we don't get kicked out because George tries to be French and it doesn't work out. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind staying there, because I could call for room service in the morning and go, Mademoiselle, I look for my croissant.
Hey, Peter, I'm just going to let you know, bud. You better have your bail money ready. I'm just going to tell you that before we even fly down there. I'm telling you that right now. Because they don't like Americans, and I could tell you right now, you try to pretend you're one of them. Yeah, I think Napoleon would probably be turning in his grave.
I'd be like, I put the French in French fry.
Okay, see, I want everyone to know this is what I dealt with for 2 weeks in Orlando, with it nonstop, either sun or rain. I was dealing with this for 2 weeks on the plane for 8 hours. I was dealing with this. Believe me, I was entertained, but my God, you would think just when he says something, you're like, okay, he's run out of material. Nope. He comes up with something else. It's like a revolving door that never stops. But it's funny, I have to say. I'm going to tell you this. If they had a comedy club at Disney Springs, I would probably sit front row just to see George on stage for an hour or two with some drinks, just chewing the shit. I probably would.
A couple, and honestly, as I said, a couple drinks, probably all I need. I'd be like, thanks, love, hide the rum.
And then next thing you know, he's going to come out in a pirate outfit, or I don't know. Maybe he's going to have I don't know, a peacock or some type of bird on his shoulder. I don't know. Maybe an eye patch. God knows. God knows.
I think for me, when you said about hotel, which I do agree with you, that would be awesome to have a window view like into the park and to literally just go down to the main lobby, walk out the door, go through security, boom, you're right there.
Well, yeah, no, 100%. And that's kind of what Celestial Park is built for the Helios.
Mm-hmm.
Like, boom, you go downstairs, go through the little security checkpoint, boom, you're right in the park.
Just one time, just to kind of check it off my bucket list. I still want to do that for the Grand Californian and then just walk into DCA.
There you go.
Just one time. Let's see. Conductor, you may want to pick a different person to go with to Disneyland Paris for your own safety.
Well, if I start hearing the French police knock on the door and they burst in the door, I'm going to say, I don't know this guy. I woke up drunk and somehow wound up in this room. I don't know this guy. This guy's nuts.
I think for me, out of all the like the international like hotels, the one I'm very curious about, which we would only have, I think a maximum of 2 nights that they do it for some reason. It's just how they do it in the resort. But just to say, and I know it's pricey and it's very hard to get a reservation to stay here, but I would love to stay at the Fantasy Springs Hotel that you're able to just, I mean, that hotel looks immaculate. And then to be able to walk into Fantasy Springs,
that'd be cool.
Literally in Tokyo Disney Sea.
That'd
like, I that would be absolutely awesome.
That'd be phenomenal by far. That'd be awesome.
So that would be my pick. But again, as I said, Disneyland Paris, I would want to do it.
Yeah. Because I finally, well, not finally, but I watched Bricky's videos when he was out there and seeing what Disneyland Paris has to offer, and then watching other videos just on the hotel itself. The hotel is beautiful. Like, I mean, I didn't get to walk through the Grand Floridian at Walt Disney World, but it kind of gave me that vibe.
Next time we're going to have to go because we were supposed to go over to the Grand Floridian. But next time, again, definitely something to look forward to. We'll definitely have to check out the Grand Floridian.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very curious about Disneyland Paris. I definitely want to do it. I want to explore it. And then, and then probably do the international parks with George. You know, the Tokyo Disney, all that stuff. Maybe we'll have Jason Hill, if he's still up for it at the time, you know, kind of give us a guided tour because he knows Tokyo Disney like with his eyes closed.
And it's very intricate over there of like that you need reservations for things.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to be waiting in like 5 or 6 hour wait times.
No, for sure.
You know, so yeah, definitely.
Right.
Was there anything else that you wanted to discuss? Was there any other topics that I may have missed or anything you want to add?
No, actually, I think we covered it all, everything that we wanted to talk about. Just a lot of amazing stuff is happening. Like I said, at the very beginning, Halloween Horror Nights, we have Stranger Things 5 now as the second house announcement for Hollywood. We have possibly, maybe, and I say maybe heavily because I don't want to be accused of saying the date and it was wrong, but heavily rumored for a soft opening on Friday for Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift. Maybe. And then, you know,
everybody was gone.
And then you got that. God. And then you got all the stuff happening in the Orlando theme parks with Epic Universe with the new Celestial Goodnight show. You have what's happening at Walt Disney World with, you know, Disney Springs, the construction updates with Tropical Americas, Cars Land, Villains, all the updates they're doing. You also have what's happening in IOA. The fact that George is now in love with with the oh my god, with the restaurant I took him to
Fire.
and Big Fire. Then you got him trying to speak French that doesn't work very well, and the fact that I might already have a warrant out for my arrest in the French government, but I'll leave that alone. Yeah, just typical theme park live stream with two guys that love talking, I guess.
I think probably if I had any question to ask a French person would be like,
God,
do your Rice Krispies snap, crackle, and pop?
I would be nowhere near him when he says that. I will be 100 yards that direction. And when I hear the weird sirens go off, I'm going to be like, nope. Me and Peter are going to go get a beer. See you later, George. Bye. Not happening.
And we got David here. What's up, David? Always glad to see you. Oh my gosh. But in any case, it is coming up on our almost 3-hour live. And Mema's house says, oh my gosh.
Hey, don't say "oh my god" to me. Say it to him, please.
I think she was.
You're good. She needs to keep you in check. If Abby kind of falls short, she's right there to pick up the slack. Believe me.
Oh my gosh.
God.
But yeah, we are pushing up on our almost 3-hour live, which is basically a walk in the park for me and Conductor. We basically, I think ever since we did our 11th hour live stream, 3 hours is like a cakewalk.
Yeah. No, 100%.
With the French cream.
Where in the hell has he come up with this stuff?
Animaniac says 8 more hours to go.
No. Nope. Absolutely not.
Oh my gosh. But in any case, Conductor, always glad to have you on the live. We have a great time. We always, it's a great time.
Sure.
But if you want to let everyone know where they can find you on social media.
Absolutely. So you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and Blue Sky at Theme Park Conductor, on X at Theme Conductor, TikTok at Theme Park Conductor 1, and every Sunday at 5 or 7 p.m. for Conductor Sunday live stream, where we have amazing guests like Hollow Gelato with his spicy Italian theme park opinions and his fake accent of French talking. Just kidding. And so many others as we break down Disney and Universal news. We talk about HHN, D23, all the stuff going on in the parks. Yeah, he's definitely nuts. I concur with that. And then also just dropping today, I did start a new broadcast channel on Instagram where a lot of the updates for the parks and just everything related to my channel will be on that Instagram broadcast channel. It is called, so that way everyone can find it on Instagram. And I actually put it in my story on Instagram, so you can join if you'd like. But if you didn't happen to see it, it is called Theme Park Conductor, all one word, channel updates. So definitely go check it out, because that's where a lot of the updates will be now posted on Instagram. So that way you guys can always stay alert on what I'm doing and where I'm at, whether it's Disney or Universal.
There you go. Or going to get a French crawler.
As long as I'm not with George, because I'll probably be arrested and beat with clubs or something. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. But in any case, folks, I think we're hitting our limit today. As I said, we always have a good time doing these lives. But in any case, this is Theme Park Conductor. I'm George, the Disney Italiano. And as I always say, in Disney Italiano fashion, stay safe, stay healthy, stay Disney. And of course, a big thank you and shout out to Tommy Toon, who also joined us earlier. Definitely check him out as well. But until the next time, Italiano